Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to some sprints. I have not done them in a minute. Hopefully, everything is working. My computer has been struggling like a lot, so we're hoping everything is working well. Um, so you'll have to let me know on your end if you can hear me and see me and everything is working well. Like I clicked connect to go live, and like it took ages. So we're a little nervous here. Hello, Cielo. Yeah, I'm sure they missed you, Cielo. Um, my plan is to read the Library of the Unwritten today because I have made the rules that I will read them on sprints. Um, but also it ended up winning the poll pick that I did for the Get a Clue Readathon, which is really messed with my reading this month. So I may be grateful that I have some rewards that'll be helpful as Cielo tries to put her tail in my mouth. You are starting early, but also reading the Library of the Unwritten. Awesome. I'm very excited to get to it. And you said that seems like everything is working. That's nice. Again, it's really hard for me to tell from my end because I'm not watching the stream. So it is always good when somebody is around to let me know. Yes, Cielo. You have 3 ebooks and 2 audiobooks to work on. Fair. I'm going to be here for about 3 hours. I have some stuff I need to do tonight, but I can't move on in the Get a Clue Readathon until I finish this because it won the poll. I was so torn because I was like, I wanted to put books on the poll that I needed to read. So I put 3 of my TBR books for phase 10 and then this one. And I was torn because I'm like, well, if this one wins, then I can definitely start reading it. But at the same time, I have to be able to sprint. And I haven't exactly had the spoons for that or like really wanted to be on camera. So we're going to see how this goes. Also, because she might, I can't tell if she's gonna. I have a new toy, which has definitely been in my videos because I think I've released a couple of videos that have had it. But we have a new toy in the background that they love. You can see right there. That's Porky, and Cielo is thinking about it, so they do like it and they do use it. Just they also like to use it in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep and they want to play on it. So they're very loud. Cielo, could you go curl up in the? What do you think? Come here. This worked the other night when I was filming. There you go. Go in there. You can still be on camera. Everybody can still see you, but you don't need to be up in my face. No, it does not. I don't think it's gonna work today. She does not want to be in the cube today, apparently. No, she does not want to be in the cube today. Anywho, I think we should start sprinting, so we can maximize our minutes. When your daughter gets here, you'll be off. Well, thank you for stopping by at least. It was nice to see you. And I should be sprinting tomorrow because I have to finish this book. So you'll see me again tomorrow. Although I may see if maybe I'll do it on Firefox. I've been using Chrome, and it's Chrome specifically that I seem to be having the problems with. So maybe I will switch to Firefox tomorrow. I don't know. I've just been having a lot of problems with my computer. And I didn't know if it was my browser or my computer itself or my internet or whatever. So we'll see. Anywho, I'm going to kick off the first sprint, and I will see you all in 30. How did we do? I got to page 35. Assuming you can hear me, because it's trying to tell me that my mic is muted, but I did unmute my mic. So hopefully you could hear that. Because the mic icon does not say muted. So let me know if you can hear me. Which, if you can't hear me, I'm not going to be saying anything. So you'll be able to tell me that I'm muted. This is complicated. I'm a little out of practice. And yeah. Hello, Nicole. You're working on Don Quixote. Nice. And you said hi to Eagle and Sue has said hi. You can hear me. Good. I swear I've had so many issues with my computer, which is part of why I haven't streamed. And then today, like, I went to hit live and it took like a good 45 seconds before it connected. So, like, I'm like super nervous because it's always hard when you can't see yourself. And then, like, I clicked the icon for unmute and it said, you are muted. And I'm like, so am I muted or am I not muted? Oh, it has been a month. I feel like February has been 3,000 years long, which is sad because I'm pretty sure that after January 20th, it was also 3,000 years. So we're doing great. You finished your daily Don Quixote pages, updating Storygraph, and now on to The Promise by Damon Galgut. Nice. I am reading The Library of the Unwritten, which is the Queer Book Club pick for February. And I finally managed to make it fit one of the prompts on Get a Clue, which has been kicking my butt. I've read a lot, but not necessarily everything that's on my TBR. So at some point, like this week, I need to decide whether I am going to really focus on bonus prompts or whether I'm really going to focus on my Phase 10 TBR and finish that up, because I have Little Men, Forging Silver into Stars, Carving Shadows into Gold. There's at least one more. I'm pretty sure there's at least one more. I would feel better if that's all I had. Like, so much better if that was all I had. Oh no, I finished Iron Flame yesterday. Oh, Needles and Knitters and the 3 Lives of KK. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. For 1,894 pages, which I am not doing well to squeezing into the Get a Clue readathon. I probably should have prioritized them when I could, and I just didn't because there were other books I wanted to read more. And I've already accepted I am not finishing all of the books I had hoped to get to in February, because I would need to read 700 pages a day, and the current book I'm reading for the Whalespring prompt I got for Get a Clue is not on my TBR. So we're accepting that there is no way I'm getting to all of the books I plan to get to in February. We're going to see how many I can get to, but we're definitely not going to get to all of them. Hello again, Cielo. I know, you've missed being on sprints. I know. I'm sure they've missed you too. Yes, because you're a good girl. I also have so much editing to do because I'm once again behind because I've been focusing on reading, and yeah, it's just been so much. I swear. Well, excuse you. Bless you. Now I'm really glad I gave you some of that medicine earlier. We have a few cats who have a cold, and apparently she's caught it. I swear, trying to get medicine in them has been so hard. We got a different kind of medicine, and apparently it makes them puke if they don't have food in their stomach, but they won't eat it if it's mixed in with their food. And we have what, like, Coco needs it, but Coco doesn't eat wet food, so there's no way to give it to him. So now we've got something different. And Donner went and hid under the couch when she realized what I was doing. So it's just been so much fun, really. You are just in time for a sprint. We are just starting now. So enjoy, Shauna, and I will see you all in 30. How did we do? I got to page 72, and I'm so bored. This is not holding my attention at all. It is the first book for my queer book club that I'm just not into. And I'm not quite sure what to do with that. Because I've really enjoyed the other books. The one exception might be the Jasmine Throne, but like I was easily able to get through that. Like I was invested enough to get through it. I just wasn't invested enough to continue the series. But all the other ones, I've continued the series. If there were more books, because I've read the entirety of the Honeymead or the Honey Bear Cozy Mysteries, because Honeymead Murder was one of the picks for December. In October, it was Can't Spell Treason Without T, of which I've read the next book in the series. June was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and I've read that whole series. And I'm drawing a blank on what we read in August. That would be the Jasmine Throne. Okay, that was the Jasmine Throne. What are you reading? The Library of the Unwritten. And I'm so bored. Let's catch up on the backlog. You were listening to Demon Copperhead and you could hear me and then left for your doctor's appointment. Okay. And I'm assuming that was for Ciela with all of her sneezing. Definitely glad I gave her some of that medicine. Just joining. I'm finished with work for today, so I'm going to make dinner and listen to Ina Garten's memoir while I cook. Nice. That sounds like a solid plan. And Nicole said hi to Shauna and Jane. So in the one I'm reading right now, we're following Claire, who is Hal's librarian. And she, along with Brevity, who's like a assistant, and Leto, who is a like sweet, like kind demon, have to chase down this hero that's escaped from his book because you can't let them leave because like books are unwritten. And they end up running into an angel who is convinced they have the Devil's Bible and is willing to slaughter them, I think, to get it back. And they're trying to figure that out. And I don't care. I don't care. Currently on page 116, my author feels the need to make sexual comments about every female character. That's not something I enjoy in my books. I'm assuming by the emoji face you chose, you're not enjoying it either. This feels like a book where if I wasn't reading it for the queer book club, I could either A, easily DNF, or B, put down, walk away, and have no desire to pick back up. So I feel like I should be DNFing it. Because it's, like, not interesting to me. But there's a part of my brain that's saying because it's the queer book club pick, I should stick with it. But I am so bored. I'm on page, like I said, 72, and it's 372 pages, I think. I have another, like, 300 pages to go. And that just seems like so much time. Like, I have just under 12, like, I have just over 11 hours left in the audiobook, and I'm listening to it at 3 times speed. So that's like another almost 4 hours of my life listening to this book, and I just don't care. It just doesn't make sense, the comments yet. I'm assuming that's about your comments. It's just weird. I don't like it when authors do that. Like, it's fine if it makes sense in reference to the character that's making them, but if it really doesn't make... I mean, I don't like it then. Either, like, I don't really like having characters like that, but at least then it makes sense. I'm listening to the audio, and I'm bored. So bored. And I know that if I don't keep reading along, I will not pay attention, and I won't be able to tell you anything about it. Like, I can't just listen to the audio Because if I listen to the audio, I will start to tune it out because I'm bored and I don't care. I was already listening to it on audio and I don't care. I mean, yes, it is a commitment considering I have, if I want to finish my February TBR, I need to read 700 pages a day. It is a commitment to spend another 4 hours of my life on this book to read 300 pages. Especially when I'm that bored. I think I'm going to finish the chapter, and if I'm still not enjoying it, I think I have to DNF it. I refuse to force myself to read books, even though it's a book club book, for the sake of reading the book club book, because I just can't. Like, I could do it if I thought like it was going to be frustrating or something, but I just don't care. And I get the feeling that I'm going to get to the end if I force myself to try to read this, and I'm not really going to be able to tell you what it's about because I'm just not going to care. Like, I'm just not going to retain any of it because I don't care, and I'm going to struggle to focus on enough of it to actually retain anything. So, we'll see. Of course, as soon as the chat started, my phone rang. That's how that works. And hello, Mary. It is nice to see you. Okay, I'm going to unpause the timer, finish my chapter, and then we'll see where I go. So I will see you all in 30. How did we do? I read 2 more chapters. Well, I finished the chapter that I was in and then read the next one because we have more than one POV. And I'm on page 82 and I don't care. Like I said, I'm bored. I'm not connecting with the characters. I don't care whether they have the Devil's Bible or what the Devil's Bible is, or if they manage to recover or what is going on. So I think I'm going to DNF this because even though it's the Queer Book Club pick, I'm not going to force myself to read something that is not interesting me, especially when my brain is already feeling bad. That is a really easy way to put me in a slump. So we're DNFing this. So at some point I'll have to do another poll because the prompt for the study is to read a book that's recommended. So one of the ways you can do it is with a poll. So I went back to my bonus book and I'm now on page 85. And this is Murder at the Blueberry Festival, which I'm enjoying much more. And we had some hellos during that sprint. And Shauna wanted to know if Jane was enjoying the memoir they were reading. Hey, everyone, reading A Study in Scarlet, got to page 20 during the sprint. Nice. You think you read about 20 to 25 pages? That's a really... I lost the word. That is a really... See, this is what I mean by like my brain is struggling. Productive, there it is. That productive sprint. DNF sounds the way to go. Even commenting on why you DNF is interesting for a book club. Yes, I'm going to do that. After sprints, I will hop in the Discord because I'm trying not to open more tabs than I need right now, just to make sure that everything is running smoothly. And I will just explain that like I'm not connecting to the characters. I'm not interested in the story. It is struggling to, keep my attention. Which is fine. Hopefully other people who have picked it up are enjoying it more than I am, because sometimes a book just is not for you. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad book. Sometimes it's just not a book that clicks with you. You just got here and are reading the Sean McGuire newest release. So that would be Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear, unless they have another book out from one of their other series. But I know that's the latest Wayward Children book. I read that in January and had a really, really good time with it. I love that series. Made it to page 130 and did laundry. Nice. Now you're making dinner. I'm not quite to dinner. Yeah, I'm having leftover pizza. And then I'm pretty sure I'm having pizza on Saturday so that I can have leftover pizza on Sunday for my birthday so that I don't have to cook. Alas, our pizza place is not open on Sundays, or I'd have pizza on Sunday. So my plan is to have pizza on Saturday so I can have leftovers on Sunday so I still don't have to cook on my birthday. It has always been a thing in my house that you get a special birthday dinner. Like, you get to have whatever you want. And I know when I was younger, I often wanted turkey. Like, my mom would make a full Thanksgiving dinner because that's what I wanted. And since I've become a vegetarian, it's basically been pizza. I want to order out pizza for my birthday. I'm just debating whether I want to get a large pizza and just have pizza, or whether I want to get a regular size pizza and have garlic knots and split the pizza and the garlic knots. Because, well, most of the time garlic knots bother my stomach because garlic. So I'm waffling on whether I think it's going to be worth it. What book is it, Chris? You are minuscule on my screen. That's mainly because I don't want to be on camera, and I'm trying to sprint while also not being on camera. Well, you can see my face, so I'll make myself bigger for a minute. Where is it? The book I was reading is The Library of the Unwritten, which is the one that won my Queer Book Club poll. So we're gonna go back and make myself tiny again because I'm trying to sprint while also not wanting to be on screen. It's very interesting. Yes. I have. Oh, yes. Okay. You were the one that was reading Shonen. Okay. Yes. I enjoyed that one. I forgot your B-Day is this month. What day? Sunday, the 23rd. I will be 38. Another reason why I can't eat garlic the way I did when I was, in my early 20s. I do not have a 20-year-old stomach anymore, unfortunately. Also, we're going to do 2 more sprints because then I'm going to get off, make dinner, and I have some plans with a friend later. So, yeah. That's the plan. 2 more sprints. Oh, hang on. My family did that for birthday, and my meal is fried chicken and dumpling and gravy. Mine tended to waffle between whether I wanted spaghetti specifically with meatballs, because my dad would make meat sauce a lot, but he didn't make meatballs very often. Because he would take like ground hamburger and actually like fry breadcrumbs and make his own meatballs. And so I tended to waffle between whether I wanted turkey or whether I wanted spaghetti. And then, like I said, once I became a vegetarian, I wasn't eating either of those things anymore. So it was pretty much exclusively order out pizza. When I was younger, my other mom used to make me white cake with strawberry frosting. And it is, to this day, the best cake I've ever had. I'm not a cake eater. I don't particularly like cake. But when she would make me my birthday cakes, I would devour them. Like, devoured them. So, obviously, she died when I was 15. So I haven't had, like, a proper cake that I didn't make for myself since then because my mom is not a very good baker. So I would make cake if I was interested in it. But for the most part, I wasn't. This year, so my local pizza place also got an ice cream place attached, and they're opening up the ice cream place for the weekend to do a fundraiser, where like 20% of the proceeds of the ice cream goes to this fundraiser. And one of the things they do is they make ice cream sandwiches. So they take these giant cookies, and put soft ice cream in between them to make an ice cream sandwich. And then you can get stuff on the outside. So I get peanut butter cookies with vanilla ice cream, with Reese's Pieces on the outside. Fantastic. So my mom's going to get some of those as like my birthday cake. This is the first sprint I've joined in months. Well, we're very happy to have you. You're on page 105 of 146. You should finish that soon. They read really quick. You could have the spaghetti without meat, just sauce. See, here's the thing. I eat spaghetti all the time. It is one of my main foods. And the reason I liked having spaghetti as a birthday dinner was because it wasn't something I ate tons of back then, especially with the meatballs. I wanted it for the meatballs, not really the meat or the spaghetti. I literally just spent over a week eating nothing but spaghetti for dinner. Believe me, I don't want spaghetti. I eat a lot of spaghetti every time I do a detox. The only thing I eat for an entire month is spaghetti when I do a full month one. So I eat spaghetti all the time, and I now eat Impossible meatballs, so I get meatballs too. I just, for my birthday dinner, my big thing now is I don't want to have to cook. So in my house, I'm the only vegetarian. I can't eat the same pasta as my parents because it sits like a lead ball in my stomach. So I have to eat brown rice pasta. They eat regular whatever pasta. We just eat completely different foods. So I make all of my own food. They don't ever make anything, like we don't ever eat any of the same things. So what I really want for my birthday is to just not have to cook. And, well, I mean, I suppose I could have my mom make my food. She just doesn't make it right because she doesn't make my food. And I've gotten really good at making it just the way I like it. So it is much nicer to just have order out because it means I don't have to cook. Why? Thank you. It's rough. I hate my birthday. They usually suck. I've had consistently bad birthdays since I was like 17. Usually nothing good happens. Everything goes wrong and I end up in tears on my birthday. So maybe this year I'll break the curse. Who knows? It's okay. You were just suggesting that I didn't have to have it with me. I didn't really clarify that the special part of it was the meatballs. Like, I could have cared less about the spaghetti. I could have just had a pot of meatballs and been happy. Okay. Timer is now on pause. Let's get back to reading, and I will see you all in 30. How did we do? I got to page 130. And for those of you wondering, I will make myself big for a minute. I'm reading Murder at the Blueberry Festival. And I'm enjoying this much more than the Library of the Unwritten. Made it home from work, working out and starting dinner this sprint. Nice. You made it back for the last 2 sprints because this next sprint will be the final one because I have plans tonight. But it's nice to see you, Jay. And actually, since you're here, I'll make myself big again, at least for a minute. I have a new toy. It's a cat tower. There is a Porky in the bed right there. And you can't see, but they've actually ripped the carpet off of the top of this post from all of their playing. They really, really like it. Which makes me very, very happy because it wasn't cheap. Made dinner and editing. I really need to get back to editing. I'm so behind. I need to film too. We're just doing great. February is usually not a great month because of my birthday, but then you throw in all of the stuff that is happening where they're like trying to erase trans people from their own history. Like I just saw that MPS, which had erased trans and queer individuals from the Stonewall page, has now just completely removed the page for Marsha P. Johnson, who was instrumental in the Stonewall movement. So I'm just like, it's great. If you're talking about the Murder at the Blueberry Festival, it's Darcy Hannah. "22 pages and really enjoying it. Nice. Happy to hear that. And we have a hello. And Jay said awesomeness. A cat tower. Yes. Yes. I have a brand new cat tower. I have a little one by my desk that so far they don't seem to be using. So it may end up in our spare room because I'm wondering if they'll use it more in there. But for now, it is here. I have a whole new desk too. I just haven't had the spoons to put it together. I've had it for an entire week. It's in pieces in the living room because we did bring it in. And it was easier to bring it in pieces than to try to lift the box. And it's just been sitting in pieces in my living room. Because I put together the 2 cat towers and a smaller Billy bookcase next to my desk on Wednesday. And then I got my desk on Thursday and just didn't do anything with it. I talk about it in my vlogs, assuming I ever get them edited. I am almost done editing the last one for January, which is great because I'm almost done with my 3rd vlog of February. I'm behind again. It's just been so rough because all of the attacks on the queer community just make me feel so hated and just increase that whole hating myself thing. It's really, really hard to deal with. And like I said, I'm struggling because it's almost my birthday, and I always struggle when it's my birthday. Like February is always a bad month for me. Although I did try to help by getting a cat tower. Which, like I said, they do seem to like. So I got to win there. I literally just read about the Stonewall riots in the last sprint. Weird how that happens. It's really funny because I read a picture book called Sylvia and Marsha Start a Revolution. And I read it the day before they removed the trans part of Stonewall's history. And the timing. And I was so mad. And I'm still mad. Because they're trying to pretend we didn't exist, that we did not contribute to our own history. And it is so frustrating. I've read the Who HQ book about Stonewall, but I'm literally looking for books to read in the near future about Stonewall and about Sylvia and Marsha, and just trying to educate myself more on my own history. I can feel you on the invisible erasure issues. We survived because we celebrated before we were recognized, and we will continue to celebrate regardless of what the government does. Yes. And I mean, they're just attacking history pretty much on all fronts. We all know it's not going to stop with trans people. We all know that. Because I mean, they already talked about how they wanted to kind of revamp Black history and talk about how, slaves benefited from being enslaved and all this just ridiculous crap. And to not want to teach critical race theory and act like we didn't do atrocious things to human beings in the past. They're already erasing some of the history of the Holocaust because they're trying to act like that wasn't a big deal. And it wasn't this huge thing, and it's not being literally repeated in the United States right now. One of the things I've learned is one of the first things they did was burn down the very first transgender clinic, which existed in Germany in the 30s. Like, that is easily a point of how long we've been around. So you go back to Stonewall, and that was in the late 60s. We existed then. You go back to the 30s in Germany. Well, we existed then too. And you can just keep going back. There was one that talked about a trans woman who was one of the first, she was the first trans woman to speak in front of, I think it's Congress. And I believe she was a slave too. And that was part of it. And it's like, okay, you can continue to see how he exists. You're trying to act like this is a new fad and this is brand new. And where is it all coming from? And they're doing the same with things like autism and stuff. And I'm just like, that is like saying that there was nobody who was left-handed back when they refused to allow kids to write with their left hand. And then all of a sudden, when they stopped making people write with their right hand and forcing all children to write with their right hand, seeing an entire influx of kids who were left-handed and going, I don't know why we've got left-handed people. And I'm like, it's because we stopped trying to force them to be something they weren't. And with something like, for instance, autism, the reason we see more autistic people is because we've gotten better at diagnosing people who are autistic. It wasn't that they didn't exist. It's that they didn't have the tools to diagnose them. That would be like saying, well, why is there so much more cancer? Well, because we've gotten better at diagnosing cancer. Or any disease that you want. The better we get at diagnosing this stuff, the more we're going to catch it and find people who have these things. And it's just so incredibly frustrating to me, and it makes me want to scream. And it's also terrifying because we now have RFK in charge of our Health and Human Services, and he doesn't believe in vaccines. There's a measles outbreak in Texas, which is just terrifying. And he's talking about how SSRIs are dangerous and we need to send people to farms to get them off of them because it is too dangerous for them to be there. And they're talking about how America is so unhealthy because we have people dealing with like anxiety and depression and autism and asthma, and maybe we should send them to farms until they're suddenly better. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Because now you're going after the disabled community, which is also how it went during the Holocaust. Why are you not seeing what you're doing? You ate dinner and got to 15%. Nice. Wayback Machine is saving it all. There are a lot of people who are scrambling to save every bit of it. And they're going, well, it's not book burnings. I'm like, well, no, we don't have books. What you're doing is you're scrubbing it off the internet and you're setting these web pages on fire because you want to burn the information because you don't want us to have access to the information. And I know one of the things they talked about is there is the possibility that they could go after people who promote queer literature if they deem that porn. So as somebody who promotes queer literature as a content creator, at some point I could come under fire for promoting pornography because a book having queer characters is automatically porn. Pentagon got rid of Juneteenth recognition for the military. That's fine. We celebrated it for 150 years before it was recognized. We won't stop. Yes. There was a whole list of things that the military is no longer allowed to celebrate since Hegseth has taken over. And it was like Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Black History Month, Holocaust Remembrance Day, Women's History Month, Pride Month, anything like, what would it be? AAPI Heritage Month, like anything that is not woohoo white is now being gotten rid of. And they want to make Donald Trump's birthday and Flag Day a holiday, because didn't you know, despite the fact that it was created hundreds of years earlier, before, or well, not hundreds of years. I think I saw it was like 1918. But besides the fact that it was created before he was born, Trump created Flag Day. Did you not know? Who knew? Even though I am pretty sure there is video out there of Justin Timberlake singing his parody song with Andy Samberg on tour, where he changed the holidays and one of them was Flag Day. And I'm pretty sure that was before Trump even took office. So, I mean, they can stop celebrating it, but they can't stop people from celebrating it. And I mean, I don't know what they think people are going to do. Like, you will not be able to shut us up. We're not going anywhere. The cancer thing is also because we are living so much longer. Well, yes. I was just using that as an example, because one of the things he liked to say was during the pandemic, well, if we just stop testing for COVID, there'll be less COVID cases. And I'm like, no, if we stop testing for it, there won't be less COVID cases. We just won't know that the COVID cases exist. That's not how that works. But there are also people who are living longer because we got better at detecting cancer and we found their cancer before it killed them. They also want to go after people who read and write or promote spicy romance. They consider it porn too. Yes, of course, because gosh forbid we want to read anything that is even slightly romantic or fun or interesting. We just need to read about straight, cisgendered white men and how they should dominate us all. Those are the only books that are worth reading, because in the end, it is straight, white, cisgender men who should run everything, and the rest of us are insignificant and incapable of choosing to do anything right, because white, cisgender men are obviously the superior people on the planet. Basically, that is their agenda, and they are working very, very hard to make it happen. And I'm sitting here. The other thing that is very, very frustrating is, where are our leadership? Where is our leaders who are not Republicans? Because the Republicans have already shown that they have no spine, and apparently Elon Musk has their balls in a purse somewhere. Everything out of Trump's mouth makes my brain hurt. And I mean, I still can't get over that during the election, they were going, well, Biden forgot this, and Biden forgot that, and Biden did this, and Biden said that, and Biden, and he's losing his mind, and he's not capable of handling being president. And I'm sitting here watching Trump confuse Nancy Pelosi and Nikki Haley, say he's running against Obama, suggesting that we had planes during the Revolutionary War, forgetting that we'd had World War II, confusing presidents of countries. And I'm going, but if Biden had done that, you guys would have raked him over the coals. For instance, if Biden was president right now and he had, say, George Soros doing everything Elon's doing, they would be raking him over the coals. If Biden suggested that he was a king now in the United States, or that he had the executive power to do whatever he wants and was above the law, and the judicial branch had no say in anything, they would be raking him over the darn coals, and they're doing nothing when Trump is doing it, and it's driving me insane. And the worst part is I live with somebody who thinks it's all fine. And I'm sitting here going, I am waiting, because at some point something is going to happen that is going to screw you over, and I'm going to get to say I told you so because you voted for this shit. I'm really, really hoping, because my dad's on Social Security and it's my dad that's doing it, that it will be his Social Security payment specifically that gets fucked up because of this. That's what I'm hoping. I also love that they want to do with the real voter ID. One of the things I saw about the voter ID is that they suggested we should all have to have passports to do it, which is an expense that not everybody can afford to do. But two, that your birth certificate must match your passport, which, if you've been married, most people, that their IDs don't match their birth certificate, and you can't update your birth certificate with your married name. But fun fact, my dad goes by a nickname, and I'm pretty sure all of his official documents, like his license and stuff, are in his nickname, not his birth name. So his birth certificate would have his birth name, not his nickname on it. Therefore, if this actually went through, he would not legally be allowed to vote. And he forced my mom to get all of her stuff changed to her married name because he was worried that there would be an issue because her social security was still in her maiden name. And I'm going, which means you might not be able to vote because obviously your identification is not going to match your birth certificate. But you know whose identification does match their birth certificate? Mine. So we might get to a point where I am the only person in my house that would legally be allowed to vote because I'm the only one that has documentation that matches my birth certificate. Which again, I would laugh my ass off and go, you voted for this? This is what you wanted. I'm waiting for it because he argues that it's not going to happen to you. Like, because one of the things Elon said is that people on SSI, they're just lazy, or people on food stamps, they're just lazy and they need to do blah, 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 blah. And there's a bunch of fraud there. And I'm going, and if they take away well, they're not going to take away yours. I'm like, but they don't think that my disability exists. They think I'm faking it. It is really, really hard to prove that you have a mental disorder. It is so much harder than if you had a physical disorder because obviously, if you can't walk, you can't walk. It is pretty easy to prove that you can't walk and get medical documentation that you can't walk. It is a lot harder to prove something that is happening inside your head that is not easy for a regular person to see the moment they lay eyes on you. And I'm like, you watch. If he does this, I'm going to also shove that I told you so down my dad's throat. Because sometimes, as people have pointed out, if spite is the thing you need to live for, then allow it to get you through the days when nothing else works. And I'm definitely to the point where there's a little bit of spite keeping me going because it is rough. So incredibly rough. And that brings an end to my political rant of the day. We're going to get into this last sprint so we can finish strong and hopefully on a much more positive note. So I'm going to unpause the timer because I went on a little tangent there. As you can see, I've been doing great. Just great. We'll get into our last sprint and I will see you all in 30. How did we do? I got to page 174. Definitely enjoying this one more than Library of the Unwritten. I am very, very glad I DNF'd that book and switched to something that I'm enjoying more. Hopefully you all had a good final sprint. And Porky is still on the cat tower. Being all cozy, warm. So if I move a few things, I could show you. Let's see. Make me a little bit bigger. This will make me small again. Hang on. Oh, no, it made me disappear. I clicked the wrong thing. There, now I am. There we go. They've been here the whole time. And then, of course, he is right up there. I promise, he is up there. I think my timer is still ticking away. Finished dinner and talked to hubby, off to book club. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Nicole. Thank you for joining us. Made it to 16% of the Seven Dials Mystery by Agatha Christie. Hopefully you're enjoying that, Jay. Another 22 or so pages, 2/3 through my book at least. Awesome job. Thanks for sprints. I'll be hosting sprints all day tomorrow if you want to hang out. Most likely. I was going to sprint tomorrow, but I am still feeling very, very low on spoons, and I do have a lot of filming to do. So since I don't have to be on sprints because I'm not reading the Library of the Unwritten, I may swing by your sprints and have you, like, your sprints on to keep me motivated. So if anybody is looking for sprints tomorrow, Nicole is hosting sprints. Feel free to toss them in my Discord, Nicole. So everybody there will know. Didn't read anything, but thanks for sprints. Well, again, thank you for joining me and hanging out. Let me see. I'll if I unplug my computer, I can lift it up. We'll slide back. See, he up there. I promise. I thought you guys might like to see Porky before you go. He loves it up there. That's his. It's almost always Porky that's in there. So yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for a few hours, and I do feel a little bit better, which is nice because I felt very, very blah and yucky. I DNF'd a book. I made some progress in another one, so I'm pretty happy with that, and hopefully it will be sooner rather than later that you see me again, because I'm really, really trying to get back into the groove of things, even though I'm struggling. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow on Nicole's Sprints, and have a good rest of your evening. Goodbye, everyone.